Ladies and gentlemen, right now, the failed and disgraced vice presidential candidate Tim Walz is traveling the country on his so-called redemption tour. Now, very curiously, it would seem as if Tim Walz's strategy for redemption is to double down on every single one of the Democrats' failed progressive talking points, so really, this entire thing is just completely pathetic to watch. But just so you know what I'm talking about, take a look at this.
Sammy, thank you. And to all the young people who are here, I just pause for a moment and look around and look at, I'm especially talking about these old white guys who seem to disappoint us on a regular basis in this country.
Well, I can think of one disappointing old white guy, that's for sure. But man, like I said, this is just absolutely pathetic. As you can see, he's still trying to do this whole failed identity politics thing. Oh man, old white guys really are just terrible, huh? Not me though, I'm progressive just like all the cool kids. Absolutely pathetic. And you know what? Politically speaking, this sort of self-deprecating racist rhetoric doesn't even work. Who does he think he's appealing to? But hey, you know what? Speaking of failed progressive rhetoric, take a look at this.
Our strength is our diversity. We've been talking about this for years as a country of immigrants, and we let them define the issue on immigration. We let them define the issue on DEI, and we let them define what woke is. We got ourselves in this mess because we weren't bold enough to stand up and say, you damn right we're proud of these policies. We're going to put them in, and we're going to execute them.
You hear that, folks? Tim Walz, in all of his infinite wisdom, has determined that the reason why the Democrats are failing right now is because they aren't progressive enough. Seriously, his solution to the ongoing issues on the left and their absolutely terrible national approval ratings is to double down on all of the radically progressive policies that, as we now know, only like 20% of Americans overall support. Like, dude, 80% of Americans have rejected all of your progressive bullcrap. How do you not realize that? You know what? I'll tell you how. It's because people like Tim Walz are living in complete and total denial. They're not even living in reality anymore. And hey, if you don't believe me, take a look at this.
I hope they all have seen the reports from cybersecurity experts that they've released analyses of election data out of Clark County, Nevada, that show some pretty convincing evidence of election tampering. My biggest fear is that we're not going to make it to the midterms. So what can we do to make sure, A, that the midterms actually happen, and B, that they're free of fraud?
Yeah. Well, this one's the core. We saw just recently Donald Trump's executive order to make it more difficult, specifically to women, trying to make it more difficult for women to be able to vote.
So, you hear that, folks? As things stand right now, Tim Walz and his fellow progressives are actively denying the results of the 2024 election. They actually think that some sort of voter fraud took place. There's just no other way that Kamala Harris could have lost to Donald Trump. Now, ironically, we all got lectured for years that by questioning the results of the 2020 election, we were all threats to democracy. But now that the Democrats are doing it, it's no problem at all. Folks, it's like they say, the first rule of progressivism is rules for thee, but not for me. And as we can all see, that rule is currently on full display right now. But you know what? This next clip I'm going to show you is absolutely insane. Take a look.
We see one of the first things they do is try and restrict the vote. This is one of the things, though, that this is going to take power to the streets. And look, I don't know what the answer is on this, but I've been saying this. I think we need a shadow government, so when all these things come up every single day, we've got an alternate press conference telling the truth about what things are happening, telling what's going out.
Yeah, so Tim Walz thinks that the Democrats need to establish their own shadow government in an attempt to undermine the real democratically elected government. Folks, I can't stress this enough, but these far-left radical progressives are absolutely unhinged. Thank God these people aren't running the country anymore. But you know what? Here's the reality. Tim Walz's so-called redemption tour isn't even about reconnecting with Americans. No, it's a bitter revenge fantasy. a sore loser's tantrum disguised as a political comeback. What he's out here doing is trying to rewrite history. He's trying to pretend like Trump's massive landslide victory never happened. But you know what? We all see this for what it really is, a desperate man trying to stay relevant. Instead of owning up to the fact that his presidential ticket got absolutely demolished, Tim Walz is out here pretending like his problem was that he didn't go far enough to the left. No acknowledgement that his policies were rejected, no self-reflection, just more excuses and more far-left progressive radicalism. Meanwhile, President Trump is sitting in the Oval Office right now, where we all put him, getting things done and delivering results to the American people. Something that, by the way, Tim Walz has never done. Let's not forget that despite his down-to-earth Midwest exterior, he really is a hardcore radical progressive that would happily tear this country apart if he ever got the chance. But you know what's even worse? He's still out here taking personal shots at President Trump. Still to this day, he's absolutely obsessed with Elon Musk. Honestly, it's like watching an unhinged ex-girlfriend spiral out after getting dumped. The vibes are just desperate and weird. Newsflash, Tim Walz, Americans chose President Trump, not you. Get over it. But you know what? Let's acknowledge why Tim Walz is out here in the first place holding rallies like this. You see, even he himself admits that the Democratic Party is in complete and total shambles right now. It's completely aimless and without a leader, so it's very obvious that what he's trying to do is get a head start on the 2028 campaign trail by holding these rallies. That said, he doesn't actually have the courage to address the Democratic Party's biggest problem right now, radical progressivism. As such, he's boxed himself into endlessly pandering to the radical progressive minority in the Democratic Party, which is absolutely nothing but a losing strategy. And so, hey, with all of that being said, it really just seems like Tim Walz is out here preparing to lose again. Oh well, I think we'll be fine without him. I feel like I say this all the time, but after having gone from 4 years of Trump into 4 years of Biden, right back into Trump, right now Americans have a crystal clear perception of the differences between the progressives and the conservatives. And so what we've all unanimously decided is that this country is better off in pretty much every single conceivable way under conservative leadership. So the fact that Tim Walz is doubling down on all of these failed, incompetent, progressive policies really just shows how absolutely clueless he really is. But hey, you know what? That doesn't really bother me, because while the Democrats keep on digging themselves into an even deeper hole, we over here on the America First side of things, we're just going to keep on winning. Now, folks, before we wrap up with today's video, I want to say real quick that I've actually gone ahead and made a community Facebook page where I'll be posting additional news and updates as it relates to all of this. So hey, if you guys use Facebook, check out the pinned comment down below and give that page a follow. But everyone, that is going to be a wrap for this video, so please go down below and drop a comment. Let me know what you think about all of this. Please like the video while you're down there if you like the video, that is. Please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton with my daily struggle here on YouTube. Thank you all very much for tuning in today, and of course, as always, stay safe.